So top of turn 4, Chaos turn. The Chaos Space Marine squad of 10 with the 2 Meltas and the Rhino, they changed directions and came towards the Predator, hoping to be able to shoot out of the hatch. They weren't within range. However, the Demon Prince was able to charge up to the Predator, but because the Predator had moved cruising speed the previous turn, and I needed 6s, even with the warp time rerolls, the Demon Prince didn't score a single hit. The Defiler, because the battle cannon is destroyed and it is equipped with 2 extra close combat arms, really has no choice but to run and is going for the easy kill point on the drop pod. So tried to make it, but failed on the assault to close the gap. The Obliterators that were parked kind of behind the Bastion moved back even further near the Rhino holding the Plague Marines, and just to get out of line of sight of a lot of what's on the table, and took 2 las cannon shots at the Predator. But the one Obliterator that did hit was in the front arc and just failed to penetrate the armor. So not really a lot happened for the Chaos that turn, so we'll go to the bottom of turn 4 and see what the Fists can do back.
Alright, bottom of turn 4, and the big news is pretty evident on the board. Someone's not there anymore. The Predator put 1 wound on the Prince, and then the Stern Guard with Vengeance rounds managed to put 3 unsaved wounds on him. He didn't make his invulnerables, so he is dead. And then the Land Raider was out of range of anything, so he didn't really shoot. And down here, the Scouts and TAC Marines just basically moved up a bit. And that's it for turn 4.
So top of turn 5, Chaos Space Marines, Rhino in the very far distance, just kind of retreated. Wasn't going to be able to get any Melta shots off the hatch and didn't have any great charge targets. Obliterators off to the left by the Plague Marine Rhino. They backed up a bit and took a couple of las cannon shots at the land speeder in the middle of the table, and only got a glance in, I believe.
No, it was a pen.
It was a full pen with the las cannons, but rolled a 1, so land speeder can't shoot for a turn, but wasn't quite what I was hoping for. And the Defiler charged up and took out the drop pod, but just rolled like 4 1s on the attack. So. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So Chaos is kind of retreating to the edges, just trying to get some victory points, but the Defiler is probably not going to last much longer.
Okay guys, Jarrett's turn, bottom of turn 5. Since the land speeder couldn't shoot, it moved flat out 24 inches around the corner, getting out of the line of sight of those Obliterators. The Stern Guard moved and then ran in the shooting phase, so they're just kind of also moving away from Obliterators. The Predator took a shot at the Defiler and totally whiffed and managed to not, I don't think it penetrated or something like that. Anyway, didn't hurt it.
2 1s.
2 1s, that's right. Sneak eyes and completely missed. That's what was so shocking about it. The Scouts, I'm playing cat and mouse with this Rhino over here, and the Scouts are trying to position themselves so that they can get a shot on it, and if not, maybe the land speeder is going to get to. Tactical Marines just did some maneuvering, moved up, and the Crusader backed up to get its autocannons in place to shoot at the Rhino over there, and it did glance and did a crew shake and just totally lame. So we are going to roll. Robin, why don't you roll, see if the game continues. Right there. What do you got?
4. 1 more turn.
1 more turn. All right.
Top of turn 6, potentially Chaos's last turn. The Rhino is moving away from the snipers and got greedy. It's got 2 Melta Gunners inside and wanted to shoot out the top hatch, but of course could only move 6 inches. So lit off a couple of Melta shots and the twin-linked bolter. Melta shot actually got through and would have destroyed the land speeder, but because it had moved flat out and got its cover save, there was no damage done. The Defiler wanted to move up and assault, got a little ways but moved quite poorly on its run. Because it has fleet, it could have run and assault. but just didn't make it far enough in. The Obliterators moved out of the cover and took a couple of las cannon shots at the Predator and actually completely destroyed it, so it blew up. A couple of Marines took saves. I don't think any Marines died though from the blast. So Chaos is feeling pretty comfortable at, I think, 5-1 right now. Playing fairly cheesy tactics, just kind of run and hide, and has been lucky the Defilers lasted. So yeah, we'll move on to the bottom of turn 5, which could be potentially the last round.
We are bottom of round 6. The scouts that are still over here, they fired their missile launcher and rocked the Rhino a little bit, but didn't manage to do any serious damage. So the land speeder fired its multi-melta and blew up the Rhino. So the guys took some strength 4 hits. I think maybe one died when it blew up. No, maybe not. Anyway, so they were in cover, and then the stern guard opened fire and took out 3 guys. So they're still, and they passed their morale check, and they're still good. And the Land Raider fired its assault cannon at the Defiler and did manage to penetrate with a rending roll, and only managed to immobilize it, so it's still kicking. Robin, you want to roll in the middle there for the end of game? What do you got?
Game over.
Game over. All right, so I think it's pretty definitively Chaos victory. Is that correct?
Yeah, 5-2.
5-2 victory points. Let's look at the battlefield here. What's left? Lots of carnage. Lots of craters everywhere, most of which are my vehicles. Cool. Great game. Thanks for your game.
Oh, good game.
Yeah.